Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing the concept of climate change in terms of physical and environmental perspective. So before I proceed to climate change, let's define what is climate. So when we say climate, it's a measure of the average pattern of variation in temperature, the hotness or coldness of the body, or the average kinetic energy of a particle. Humidity, the amount of water vapor in the air. Atmospheric pressure, that is the force applying a particular area. Wind, especially the direction of air. Precipitation, the amount of rain, even rain or snow that is produced after the water cycle. Atmospheric particle count, and other meteorological variables in a given region or place over long period of time. So uh, what makes climate different from weather? Weather is a short period of time. Unlike climate, it is a long period of time. Now, what is climate change? According to Intergovernmental Panel of climate change refers to a change in the state of the climate. So these are the temperature, wind, precipitation, atmospheric pressure, uh, the one that is mentioned in the previous slide, that can be identified by changes in the mean or the variability of its properties, and that persists for an extended period, typically decades or longer. It refers to any change in climate over time, whether due to natural variability or as a result of human activity. No. Now, what factors contribute to changes in global climate? So, to simplify first, let me introduce this illustration. This is a typical process of photosynthesis. The energy coming from the sun is used by this plant so that it can perform the photosynthesis. The water enters the plant. It is one of the requirements. Carbon dioxide plus water so that it can produce oxygen. Now, so to simplify the illustration, I use these two circles to represent the oxygen, two green circles. While this one, two green circles for the oxygen here, and C4, the red is for the carbon. So once this carbon dioxide enter the body of the plant, the one that is only released by the plant is the oxygen molecules. So the carbon here become now part of the plant. This carbon may become part of the fiber of the plant, the cellulose part, or it can be part of the plant in terms of its fruit if the plant is fruiting. So now, if we will going to lessen the number of plants in our surrounding, the carbon dioxide, no one will capture this carbon dioxide, or the capture of this molecule, since it is a hot gas, it might produce or it might scatter only in the air. Now, since we lessen the number of this, the oxygen production might be affected, and this carbon dioxide will just scatter, and that will produce greenhouse effect. So now, do you still remember the greenhouse gases? So this is the typical illustration of our atmospheric condition. This is the sun. This is the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Now, greenhouse gases are still relevant because at night it keeps our planet a little bit warm or warmer, because the surface of the sun at night and the surface of the earth at night that is not facing the sun is a little bit colder because it's night. since the greenhouse gas maintain the heat that surrounds the sun. So kung ganito yon, so yung greenhouse gases sa gabi, nagme-maintain siya ng temperature ng Earth. Kasi kapag walang greenhouse gas, pwede mag-turn yung water into ice or pwede mas lumamig. But because of greenhouse gases, we still maintain our temperature at night. So, nakalagay dyan, keeping our planet warm. The greenhouse effect is a process caused by greenhouse gases which occur naturally in the atmosphere. This process plays a crucial role in warming the Earth's surface, making it habitable. Okay, now if if there will be incoming energy from the sun, naturally it is reflected by the ozone layer here. Some energy may not pass through, and some energy might be reflected. However, if the greenhouse gases become dominant or become prominent on the Earth's atmosphere or in the Earth's atmosphere, anong effect? Mahihirapan i-reflect yung mga excess energy coming from the sun. So the tendency, the Earth becomes warmer. So greenhouse gases in the Earth absorb much of the long-wave energy emitted from the Earth's surface, preventing it from immediately escaping from the Earth system. The greenhouse gases then re-emit this energy in all directions, warming the Earth's surface and lower atmosphere. So kapag maraming greenhouse gases dito, mas mahirap nakakalabas pabalik yung mga excess energy na galing sa sun. So now, increasing greenhouse gases, of course, may cause increasing greenhouse effect. It is attributed to human role as we move through industrialization and commercialization. We cut trees, we convert lands from agricultural to commercial, or forest land to commercial because we need space because of the population is increasing. Now, so because the greenhouse gases become prominent or dominant in the atmosphere, thus it produces greenhouse effect. So, hindi nakakalabas lahat ng energy na excess na emit ng sun. And these are the common greenhouse gases. So, mas malaki yung figure, mas marami siya. Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxygen, perfluorocarbon, we have sulfur hexafluoride. And in the small circles, these are the sources of transportation, fossil fuel combustion, coal and crude oil, substitute to ODS, agriculture, natural gas, landfills, the smoke that is coming from the landfills. And based on 2004 reports, the most prominent gas is carbon dioxide because of the fossil fuel. Because we need to convert them into petroleum, gases, and other usable oils that we can use. In terms of the sources of gas emission, pinakamarami ang industry, followed by forestry, transport, forestry because some of the forests are converted into commercial space. But there are forests that naturally emits gases because of the forest fire. It's a common process every summer. Transport, our energy supply pala is the largest. because of the burning of the fossil fuel, followed by industry, which also use or utilize fossil fuel in the production. Ozone depletion. So since ozone is a triatomic oxygen gas, the oxygen, and the ozone layer relatively contains high concentration of oxygen. So because of the increase of greenhouse gas, we observe hole in the ozone layer. This one, you can see that in this hole, you can see in the Antarctic region that the ozone hole is observable here. So when the energy comes from the sun passes through this hole and it touches the surface of ice, the melting of ice will become faster and it might result to uh, increase of water level or increase of sea level. Now, in terms of this is the ozone concentration year 2008. You can see it becomes lower, and this happens. The ozone hole happens. Or it becomes more affected in terms of the ozone hole, in terms of the polar region. Kita nyo naman dito, because it is more exposed to sun. For example, if it is towards the sun, this one, mas malapit siya. Yung mga end niya, this one near here, and this one near here. So, you can see that there is decrease of ozone layer during these months, while the ozone becomes or regenerate after once it is away from the sun, or the months that are or the months that the earth is away from the sun. So this is the more pictures of ozone hole. You can see the Antarctica, the continent of Antarctica. It's a little bit more affected. Okay, so climate change. These are the effects in terms of Earth system. The temperature change, the sea level rise because of the more energy is absorbed by the sun and less is reflected back. Extreme events because extreme heat, extreme rain, precipitation change or changes. In terms of climate process drivers, the greenhouse gases, its concentration and emissions. Ecosystem is damaged, thus it results to less food security, less water resources. It has impact on human health. In terms of human system, the governance, we should create more laws or implement more laws so that we can protect our environment. Increase environmental literacy. We should use or invent more technology. Now, in terms of mitigation and adaptation, when we say mitigation is to lessen the effect of the climate change before it becomes worse. Now, adaptation is a present living and we just adapt or deal with it. So now, climate change is naturally happens. Sure, naturally siya before. Every 10,000, 100,000 years, you can see that temperature fluctuates. Meron tayong below negative degree Celsius, merong higher. This is the temperature, so it's a natural process. However, we humans make it faster and even worse because of the greenhouse effect that we are contributing. So this increased greenhouse effects. So what are the effects? I have mentioned some already during the chart, in the chart part. So the increase of sea level, obviously, the temperature increases and the snow cover decreases. Thus, the global sea level increase. This snow melts and converts into parts of sea or sea waters. So in terms of continental temperature change, all of them obviously increasing, whether North America, South Africa, Europe, Africa, South America, Asia, Australia, all of them increasing in terms of temperature. So this is the projection of the temperature as it continuously warming. So in 2020, 29, 2020, 2029, ito siya. And painit siya ng painit. So 100 years from now, we do not know what will happen. All we know, we can project that the earth is continuously warming. In terms of snow cover, before 1851, sa Greenland, ito yung kanilang ice hanggang dito pa, 1851. 1875, hanggang umaandar, paliit na ng paliit yung snow cover nila yung kanilang ice sheets. Now, andito na siya ngayon. Almost wala na to, o part na to. Okay. So, extreme weather will be likely a new norm. So, parang normal na yung ganyan. Na may malalakas na bagyo because of abnormal increase of heat. White hot insects, climate change leading to lighter colors. Because as we all know, light color reflects light and reflects the energy or the light that it receives. So based on the graph, kita nyo naman less na yung dark color as compared sa white color. Mas sige prominent na yung white colored insects. So well, it's nice to think that about these facts, but sometimes we must also look at it with skepticism. So that's my presentation. Good luck for your final exam.